What's up YouTube? It's Todd Horst here with Tasty Tracker, and today I have an Apple Wheel Challenge update. So we can see here it's trading right around 33.5, which is slightly disappointing. I have 7,700 left in here for buying power. All these numbers are messed up because I've had to roll all of these things. Kind of have a mix in the market today as far as half being down, half being up. Um, and Disney, why do I not have a closing order on that one? I think because I want to scale in more positions. Yeah, I think I was planning on entering more. So let's go over the highlights here. Have 38 wins, 0 losses. Average days is about 13 days. So far I've realized 9,000 since June, 4,000 basically from this month. I'm only up 1.7% from the amount that I've deposited into this account. So basically nothing. I deposited 32 and I'm at 32.5. Net liquidity. That's different than the gains that I've realized. So obviously the gains that I've made, I've constantly poured into positions that have been down, that I still believe in, rolling them out, managing that kind of stuff. So the theory here is that although this doesn't look like I've made anything, um, if you're just looking at deposited versus net liquidity, this should shoot up if we have some good days here. Uh, the downside is that I've realized 9,000, so I'll actually be taxed on this. They don't care that my account's basically flat. They care about me closing positions. So let's go over to the history. Again, not really sure exactly where I left off. This account, because it's a larger account compared to my small account challenge, there's a lot of activity here, and a lot of it is, again, me doubling down or ruling positions out in order to manage those to increase their odds of success. So again, the theory is I'm rolling out, they're all sold puts, rolling out, rolling them down, and rolling them wider so that I still collect a credit to do so, lowering my break even price, also increasing the gain if I have to scale in, enter in more contracts. Then I have more contracts that I'm increasing the premium that I've collected, and therefore I'm have more of those contracts deployed, meaning when they do win, I will get even more money than what I initially entered that initially planned on. However, it's kind of baked into my plan that I'll need to scale in and roll as needed until they the positions line up with what the market is giving me. But yeah, if we, I think the Amazon win um, was in the last video, but yeah, had the couple wins here: Ulta, Disney, Amazon. Let's look for just closing here. Chewy, uh, Disney. That was the one that was back here. It wasn't a closing back there. Another Disney close. PLTR made 300 off of that. 300 on ATVI today. Okay, so let's go to open positions, which again you can clearly see over here. I'm not sure the best way. If we just go by, okay, so the first thing I look at when I'm trying to manage this account is what's coming up soonest for expiration. So I'm going to look at FSLY and Roku. And I'm going to then come over here and see FSLY. I sold the 49, so I need it to be above that in 14 days. And right now it's at 50. So just based off of these numbers, it's right where it should be, and I should be into profitability shortly. So let's go to the actual chart. Just to double check, we're not at a point of resistance that it could, I always do that, FSLY, that it could drop down. And it's kind of actually the opposite. We're kind of at support here. I've just been slinking up the SMAs here. We're past earnings, so that's out of the way. And it's generally been looking constructive, if not a little sluggish, but RSI looks good. Okay, so So then the next thing is I look at Roku. That's the 275 that's sold. Okay, and right now we're down here trading at 273. So again, I'm right where it should be. I'm looking at MACD here. It's looking like it wants to turn up. It's losing steam. R size reset. So it can go lower than 30 for sure, but typically this is where buying really starts to come in to support a stock. So yes, it can go lower for sure, but odds are um, these two indicators are good enough. This whole blue zone in here is a zone of support. So it might have trouble getting out of it, but I only need it to come up $1.25, which is way down here. So it's right at the bottom there. Actually, that green line is where it needs to be. Okay, so now that I have the first expiration cycle looked at, sometimes I'll go ahead and look at the next one depending on how close it is. That's only 21 days. Because there's a lot of tickers on this, I'm more inclined to just come over here, sort by my percentage gain overall in the position, and sort of look at what's doing well. Uh, the top half and then I'll say the top quarter and the bottom quarter. So the top quarter I would be looking at, is it near a point of resistance again? So C to me looks like we have another 2 days here. Once it gets up to 70, I think that could be a point of resistance. What did I sell here? I sold the 71. So I could potentially exit for a profit. It depends on the premium I got, but I'm certainly not going to go in the money, or out of the money, if my sold leg is up here at 71. So then I can come over here, see what the premium is. Premium, I collected 378 and 324. But let's just go with the one that's closer here. So this is the 7160. Down here, 284 is what it's currently going for, and I collected 378. So I could close that at any time, assuming things don't get worse. But yeah, I should be able to close that if we get to 70 next week. That would be a good time to take that one off and just take whatever gains it has. The other one is trading right now at, yeah, 71.63. Oh, they're basically both at the same price, 284, and on that one, I have 324. So I would have only made $40 on that one. That's pretty weak. So I might want to roll that one out, but I might also just see how the market is behaving in general. So then look at eBay. I did just do that on the small account. But yeah, MACD RSI look good. This is actually sort of a perfect chart down here for what I'm looking for, where MACD is losing steam, rolling up. It's still above the zero line, and the RSI is heating up, making higher lows. So this part is ideal. Up here, it's resting on the 100-day, touched it, and then bounced back up. And we can see back here, it's bounced off of there before. So eBay, I like a lot. I don't think it's going to hit much resistance because we're already at resistance here. We might get hung up here at 75, but that's only $1 more. So more than likely, it kind of blows through both of these at the same time, or within a day or two. So that's pretty clear skies up until the upper band of this, which could be 78, and then at the higher level, 81. And so how I got the 78 was I kind of did that in my mind, and so that's if I'm imagining this stock coming up, something like that, then it's right around the 78 line. And then how I got the other line was by just looking at the peak. Okay. Okay. So hopefully that helps you to see what I'm seeing. Okay, so then I might come down to the last one that's actually green and just look at that chart, hood. And what do I have? I have the 38 and the 35. The 38 is my first one. And right now it's trading at 35, so my further dated one is pretty good, but the 38 is actually above this 20-day SMA. That's not great, so I might have to roll that one out and potentially down, but I might just roll that one out to buy me more time. I don't know that the strike is really a problem. It just needs potentially more than 21 days. But if we, another way you can look at this is to just come out here. What's the actual date? December 3rd. Okay. Like Thinkorswim has the expirations on there, or you can choose to. Maybe that's only monthly. I don't know. But yeah. So this drawing the vertical line helps me visualize where it needs to go. That yellow line here is 39, but let's go ahead and change that to 38. Okay, so what are the odds that it's going to come up here and rest above that by this point? And I think it's kind of a 50-50. So yeah, it might need to be rolled out, but I like the further dated one that I have, which is why I have 10 contracts. It's also narrower, so that I was able to put 10 contracts on versus this one, which is a wider spread, sucking up more collateral. So yes, I collected more for the individual contract, but overall net gain percentage ROI is much better on this one. Okay, so instead of, so I looked at the top, instead of looking at these middle ones, I'm basically just going to skip those for now, and then sort of address the bottom three. The middle ones, especially if you're looking at the percentage, they're not too far gone or anything like that. So definitely still within reason. So I sold the 113, and right now Starbucks is at basically 112. So just off of those numbers, I'm not concerned, but I'll go out and check it out. So 113 is down here, which is right at the SMAs. So definitely, I think next week it'll be contending with those. One reason I like this position is it fell on earnings and then was immediately bought right back up. So there's a lot of buying power and demand there for this one. So not concerned about that one. That's might be something that you're interested in doubling down for. Right now it's trading at 101. So then I come in here and I find Starbucks, and I can see that I added 2 more contracts when it was trading at 104. So if it still hangs out, what day was that? 11/12, that was today. So if I see that it continues to hang out in this area, but is building momentum or building a base that it looks like it can launch out of, then I might add some more contracts. For now, I wanted to add a couple to take advantage of the move from 62, the move against me from 62 to 104. But I don't need to add too many contracts yet because there is a potential, since we are below all 3 SMAs, that we could roll back over down here to 108 or somewhere therein. Okay, so Roku, I have the long or the short put that's 335 that was perfectly in place. It was profitable. I could have taken it off for a small profit, and I never did that. So I had to roll the whole way out to December 17th. Of course, now several days have gone by since my last video, so it's actually not that far out. I will need to roll this again here out and down in the next, we'll say 10 to 15 days. But it's far enough out there that I'm not worried about this being exercised. Excuse me. Right now it's trading at 275, which is right where this position is. So again, just looking off these numbers, not concerned. Let's go look at the chart to confirm that I think we're at an okay spot. MACD and RSI look good. From my perspective, we're in this buy zone here, which could easily come up out of that. But again, for the spread that I did, we're good if we just stick right here, right where we're at. Well, I mean, needs to come up 75 cents, but that shouldn't be a problem in 14 days. This one definitely is 335. That's way up here, this yellow line. So I think even if we get past these SMAs, which is, it's going to take some time for it to wedge and build enough of a base, something like that. So it'll probably bounce, in here before it wants to come up, and then we'll probably have to contend with this green line and this yellow line, which is exactly where I need it to be to get over in order to be out of the money and profitable. But again, with some of these plays you don't need them to go out of the money. You're just capitalizing on something being less in the money than what it was when you opened that position. Okay, and the last one we'll go over here is Twitter. I think okay, now I doubled down in another account. I have 20 in another account, but this one I only have 10. Need it to be above 53. Again, it's trading at 52, so no problem there, I don't think. 53 is right there. So yeah, I mean, we are right on the cusp, and MACD and RSI are looking good for it to come back up. It is slightly concerning that we're down here. However, it's not unexpected because of this giant drop that we've had. Okay, so that's typically how I look at my accounts. First of all, I'm concerned, first and foremost, what's expiring soon. Then I'm concerned with the top half, whether they're hitting resistance. Then I'm concerned with the bottom half, whether they're hitting support, and if they are, can I double down? Some of these in here are typically just fluctuating between support and resistance. It's not really the best time to add, so I would wait until they dip more to enter into more contracts. And again, you want to scale in as you see things looking more promising. So the more it bounces around in a wedge or a channel, the more likely it is to jump up out of that. So anyway, I hope that helped with sort of my thought process and the account, and where we're at with things. So if not, let me know what I can do better. Otherwise, have a good one. Good one.